So hello everyone, and welcome to the back garden yard. In today's video we're going to be looking around that summer garden again. We're going to show you some new stuff that we haven't really looked at, and we're also going to harvest some of the regular stuff. And I think you'll enjoy this video, and it's going to be the regular weekly walk around also. So let's go see what's going on in the late July garden. These grapes have been growing ever since spring and they are ripe now. I don't know exactly how tasty they are. They're not quite as big as the ones I get in the grocery store, but they sure do look nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and harvest a bunch of those, and of course we've got plenty left to harvest here. So if these are good, we're gonna come back and get these, because it looks like the vines are drying out and it's got to be time to harvest. So in my last update I showed you these. This is the green leaf lettuce here. It's a type of romaine, and I showed you how nice these flowers look and how the seed pods were forming and flowering out. And now I'm actually harvesting seed pods, and they are really putting on the seed. So I will not be having to buy in these seeds this year. And that's what's going on over here. But last week there were absolutely zero of these seed pods that were ripe and ready to pick for the red romaine. But now, if you can see, they've almost quit blooming, and all of these seed pods are perfectly ripe and ready to harvest. And so before it rains, we will go ahead and be harvesting these seed pods. But speaking of the red romaine, here is what I planted in June, and as we can see, it's starting to bolt, and so it won't be viable much longer. In fact, this may be the last time I get to show this to you, simply because I'm going to pick a lot of this and I'll put a lot in the refrigerator, and then I'm going to give a lot away, because I just hate to lose a big crop like this. So next we're going to look at these old cucumber plants, and as I've said in previous videos, I've harvested over 120 pounds from this row of cucumber plants, and they are still making them. I kind of missed this one, but he's still edible and nice. And then here's one that they get kind of twisted there at the end, and then there's another nice one right over here. So they're still putting on cucumbers. I see one right through there. Oh, there's a very nice one here that I showed in the intro of the video. Over here are the new plants that I planted back in June, and this is what I call the July garden. And these I have got growing up the trellis and will make another crop. And I had to cover them, the leaves and the bottom of the stems here, I had to cover them with some 7 dust because of the bug problems. Now, speaking of the July garden, once again, I was going to show you these plants. This is a zucchini plant, and these are the ones that I kept on the table for over a month and waited as long as I could to transplant them into this garden. So once again, I've got 7 dust around. They're not blooming, and I can see they're doing real nice. These are zucchinis, and then this is a couple of yellow squash here, and then over here is another yellow squash. Now my big boy and better boy tomatoes are still bearing some. I need to get out here and tie these up because some of them are up over 7 feet tall over the top of the trellis. And what will happen is, if I don't tie them up quick enough, it's going to be like this one. It broke because it had too much weight hanging up in the air. So right behind these tomatoes, I've still got these 2 totes full of purple sweet potato plants. And let's take a look down in there and see how it looks. If we can. Yeah, I can see little roots popping up everywhere. So hopefully they're making some sweet potatoes. And I can also see where these leaves are being eaten by something. So I'm gonna probably have to mix some organic spray because I don't want to use 7 dust on these, but I'm getting too much damage that I don't normally get on sweet potatoes from some type of probably little leafworm. Now these are the pepper plants that almost drowned this year, and I worked some dirt back around their base, and then it quit raining every day. Of course, now we could certainly use some nice showers, but anyway, and then I've been watering them now, and they have come back to life, and they're putting on a beautiful crop of these Asian peppers. So now we come to the back garden, and in the back garden I've got my okra, and the okra is really doing nice this year. These plants here are over waist high and they're bearing. You can see I've already picked okra several times. You can see where I've snapped them off, 4 of them off of this plant already, and there's a little one growing. So it's really starting to look nice in the okra patch. The time has come to pick these calabash pumpkins. Now I call them calabash squash until they aren't, and now they're calabash pumpkins. And as you can see, they've got the right color. They're not 100% orange yet, but it's time to get them up off the ground so the bugs and just water when it does rain and when I water won't get in there. And so I'm gonna come over here and take these and put them on the table and let them mature up out of the dirt. And then the second thing I'm going to pick is going to be the butternut squash, because you can see these vines are completely dead now, so there's no need to leave these hanging there for the insects and everything. So I'm going to pick the butternut squash, and I've got 5 nice butternut that came from a couple plants that I planted. I didn't plant a lot of butternut because I have all these calabash. Now we're looking at the pole lima beans. That's right, the pole lima beans are right here, and I've already harvested 1 crop from the early plants, but we can see now they are really starting to load up and put on a nice crop. So in August I am going to be picking some very, very nice pole lima beans. Well, it looks like we got a severe thunderstorm warning coming here right now, so I'm out here to pick the Calabash Squash pumpkins, and I'm gonna see if I can get that done. If not, I'm thankful that I'm finally going to get some rain, even if it is a severe thunderstorm. So let me go ahead and cut a couple of these calabash to show you. All right, this is a really nice one right here. And I believe that thunder there is my signal to cut this short, and I'll finish this later on. So now I've got a lot of work to do, folks. Have showed you what's going on in the July garden, but I'm still harvesting a lot of food, and we'll continue hopefully right on into September. And then of course we're going to have the fall garden coming up that I'll plant in late August. So please subscribe to the channel so you can continue to follow this garden, because I'm going to show it about every week to 10 days is how it's progressing. And thank you for watching.